Rikishi has reacted to Jey Uso's historic Intercontinental Championship win from Monday Night Raw. In the show's main event, the former Bloodline member defeated Braun Breaker to win his first singles title in the company. Previously, Jey failed to win a singles championship on 6 separate occasions. Earlier this year, at Backlash France, he was unable to beat Damian Priest for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship and Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. After Uso finally won his first singles title in WWE, Jey's father, Rikishi, reacted by sending a message to Rhea Ripley. Jey and Ripley have allied in recent weeks, amid the Terror Twins' feud with the Judgment Day. The crowd inside the packed arena was still buzzing. The historic moment had just unfolded. Jey Uso, one half of the Usos, had achieved a monumental victory, capturing the prestigious WWE Intercontinental Championship. The ring lights gleamed against the golden belt that now rested on his shoulder, a symbol of hard-earned victory. Chants of "Use, use, use" echoed throughout the arena, a powerful wave of emotion from the fans who had been with him throughout his journey. As Jey raised the title high above his head, his face a mixture of triumph and exhaustion, there was one man watching from backstage with immense pride. His father, WWE Hall of Famer Rikishi, and as proud as Rikishi was, he had a mission in mind. This victory wasn't just about a title, it was personal. The Bloodline saga had taken many turns, fractured alliances, and forged new bonds. Jey's hard-fought win wasn't just for himself, but for every moment of betrayal, every tear shed, every ounce of frustration he'd endured during the lengthy and tumultuous Bloodline storyline. Yet, there was one person still heavily involved with the Bloodline that Rikishi couldn't overlook: Rhea Ripley. As Jey celebrated in the ring, Rikishi sat in his private locker room, his phone in hand. He had a message to send. A message to someone who had become a thorn in his family's side: Rhea Ripley. Rhea wasn't officially part of the Bloodline, but her recent involvement with Dominic Mysterio, her tight alliance with the Judgment Day, and her mind games with Jey Uso had made her an unavoidable presence in their story. Rikishi, ever the protector of his sons, wasn't about to let this go unchecked. He tapped out a message on his phone, pausing to think of the right words. Rhea was dangerous, a master manipulator, and incredibly powerful in her own right. He had to make his message count. Braun Breaker won the Intercontinental Championship by defeating Sami Zayn at the SummerSlam Premium Live event. He successfully defended the title against Zayn on Raw in an epic 2 out of 3 falls match. Leading up to Breaker's title defense against Jey Uso, the newly crowned champion won a fatal 4-way match involving Ilja Dragunov, Braun Strowman, and Pete Dunne. I'm not one for playing mind games, but I know you are. You like to test people, push them to their limits. You thrive on chaos. I respect that. I've been around this business long enough to know that you're not someone to be taken lightly, but let me be clear. My son Jey is not a pawn in your game. He's a warrior. And tonight, he proved that to the world. You've been trying to get inside his head, pushing him and messing with his focus. I've seen it all. You've tried to make him doubt himself, just like Roman tried to break him. But you should know by now, our family doesn't break. We rise. Tonight, Jey did just that. He overcame every obstacle in front of him. And now he holds one of the most prestigious titles in WWE, and that's just the beginning. But here's the thing. Rhea, you're good at what you do, and I'm not blind to that. I see how you and the Judgment Day operate. You're always a few steps ahead, planning, scheming, and trying to get people to self-destruct. You've got Dominic wrapped around your finger, but Jey isn't Dominic. My son's been through wars. He's walked through fire and come out the other side stronger. I don't know what you're planning next, but I'm here to tell you that whatever you have in mind for Jey, it won't work. You won't break him, and you won't manipulate him. I taught my sons to stand tall in the face of adversity, and that's exactly what they do. So go ahead, Rhea. Play your games. But remember, Jey's not alone. He's got me watching his back, and trust me when I say I'm ready to step in if you cross the line. Rikishi leaned back after sending the message, his eyes focused on the screen for a moment longer than necessary. He knew this wasn't the end of it. Rhea Ripley wasn't one to be intimidated easily, and she thrived on confrontation. If anything, this message would provoke her even more. But Rikishi didn't mind. This was a statement of intent. Jey might have walked out with the title tonight, but there was a bigger game at play. In the ring, Jey was still basking in the glory of his victory. He hadn't seen the message his father sent yet, but Rikishi knew the time would come. Jey needed to know that the battle wasn't over, that Rhea and the Judgment Day had been circling him like vultures, waiting for a chance to swoop in. Backstage, Rhea was with Dominic and Damian Priest, watching Jey's celebration on the monitor. A small smirk played on her lips. She had been toying with Jey for weeks, teasing him, playing on his vulnerabilities, and feeding into the chaos that surrounded him. In her mind, this victory was just a temporary high for Jey, a moment of glory, before the Judgment Day made their next move. "Looks like the big man's worried," she murmured, showing Dominic the message. Dominic frowned, unsure of what to make of it, but Rhea's confidence remained unshaken. She thrived on challenges like this, on knowing that she had gotten under someone's skin. Rikishi, meanwhile, wasn't naive. He knew sending that message wouldn't end things. If anything, it would escalate the tension between the Bloodline and the Judgment Day. But Rikishi had always been a man of action. He wasn't about to sit idly by while someone like Rhea Ripley manipulated his son. The Bloodline's fractures might have weakened their unity, but family was still everything. Rikishi knew the battles ahead would be even tougher. Roman Reigns still loomed large, and the Judgment Day's growing power made them an ever-present threat. Jey's victory tonight was a major step forward, but it was just one battle in a long war. Rikishi's warning to Rhea Ripley wasn't just about protecting Jey. It was about sending a message to the entire WWE locker room. The Usos were still a force to be reckoned with, and they weren't going to let anyone, not even someone as formidable as Rhea Ripley, dictate their future. The message had been sent. Now, it was only a matter of time to see how Rhea Ripley would respond. But one thing was certain. Rikishi would be watching closely, ready to intervene if his son's path was threatened again. In the world of WWE, power plays, manipulation, and mind games were the norm. But as Jey Uso stood at the top with the Intercontinental Championship, Rikishi's message made one thing clear. Family comes first, and anyone who dared cross that line would face consequences.